going to start with the Joker. It's a pretty easy character to draw. He's a very forgiving. There's a lot of forgiving kind of structure underneath the character, meaning, you know, the length of his nose, his chin, all that kind of, the size of his eyes. You can kind of really play around with it. You don't have to be as tight or on model. There's all these different ways to draw the Joker, and they all seem to work. And the big thing is to get them out right. Oh, sweet. Okay. Yeah, so the big thing is, yeah, that's great. Yeah. So normally they teach you to draw all these like lines for structure, and you should. So, but I'm not going to, because I'm going to try to do as many as I can. So I usually just kind of do a very gestural drawing. See, there's the mouth, chin, ear, hair, neck, right? So then I usually start with the eyes, and with the Joker, he's always got that kind of surprised, crazy look in his eyes. So, boom, that's his eyebrows, right? And then underneath the eyebrows, most people have their eyeballs. So, very easy, yes. See what you're learning today? Yeah, if you hadn't learned that today, where would you be? Boom, there's one eye. Okay, now look how big and expressive that eye is. But also see how hollow it is. It really doesn't have any expression until you put the eyeball and stuff in it, but I'll kind of save that to the end. And now, since this is at 3/4, when by 3/4 it's turned slightly to the left or right, things are slightly in perspective, meaning if we had like a window in a house, right, they would get smaller as they move toward that horizon line, right? Are we all down with this concept? Are we all clear?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. We see it every day as you drive. That's how you know you're driving away as opposed to. All right, so, right, windows get bigger, you're driving the wrong way. All right. So the same thing applies to faces, meaning if one window is the eye to the soul, or the window to the soul, or whatever, I don't know what I'm talking about, medication. You have two eyes. See how this eye is bigger than this eye? Right? All right. So the same thing here applies. And this eye is also hidden by this big crane, this eye beam here, which will be his nose, right? See that? Does that feel like the other eye? And it's behind this beam. This beam is actually his nose. It just flares out the bottom a little bit. A lot of times you can draw things without actually drawing it. You can just draw the shadow underneath the thing, right? So if you look at a lot of professional illustration, they actually draw the shadow underneath tufts of hair. They draw the shadow of objects. They will draw like a shoulder, and it comes up, and they won't draw the line all the way to the top. They'll just like kind of draw the shadow of the shoulder. So I'm just going to draw the shadow of the nose here. And then there's this thing, which I don't know what it's called, but it's next. You got to drop that line if you want to draw the mouth. Now the whole thing with the Joker is the expressiveness, the shape of his mouth. If you draw the mouth right, you can draw anything else for the eyes, hair, ears, all that. So I'm telling you right now, the secret of the Joker is the mouth. Okay, and then of course the teeth, the chiclet teeth. So you got to basically, you don't want to draw each tooth because it's very time consuming. The secret is to draw the gummy parts right here. All right? What are they called?
The philtrum.
The philtrum. What? Oh, the part that connects the lip? All right, philtrum. Thank you. You Googled that. I would have been impressed if you knew that. Anyway, so. And then because he's got this grimace for a smile, it kind of pinches up into his cheekbones, so you got to have that line here, and you're going to have that there. Okay? And you got the tufts of hair. They kind of come out of the temples, top of the head, kind of flare around. Other important little lines to do with a little marker would be this little thing here. I don't know what it does, but it's inside your ear. This hole here is where you put your Q-tips. All right. There you go. Let's see. Okay. All right, so you kind of got the lay of the land here. Okay. So these are all the lines I did with a thin marker. And if you're trying to do something kind of quick, these are going to be your wrinkles and your structure lines, and maybe a little rendering here, because people like to see the rendering. And then you go in with a Sharpie if you're trying to do something quick, and you pop in your sharper blacks, right? So. That's the shadow of the cheek on the other side here. You just kind of fill in those shadows, those paint by number kind of things. And then it's got to have a flower. So I'm going to draw this flower by drawing the shadow of the flower. Right? And then you just pop in the eyes. And the eyes are a little bit of a kind of a, I don't know what. If you were to draw like a bowling ball or a cue ball, you draw like a reflection here, and that's a light that's on this wall over here, and it's bouncing off here. So if the eyeball, it's the same thing. There's your whatever that black dot's called. Iris? I don't know what. And same thing, that you have a white dot, right? So when you draw an eye, a shorthand for an eye is like this. And that dot is just like a reflection, right? So I did that. I don't know if you can tell from that distance, but it's there. Because he's a little insane, he's going to have those dark shadows under his eyes. A little insane. Yeah. So that's the Joker. Very quick, down and dirty.